Good afternoon, children. Welcome to 8th Standard Science online class. Hope you are all safe by the grace of God. Today we are going to continue our third unit in chemistry, elements, compounds and mixtures. So in our previous class we have discussed about the various techniques of separation. We are going to discuss the remaining distillation methods in this class. Okay children, now we are going to discuss about this fractional distillation method. Do you remember the distillation method we have discussed in the earlier class? It is similar to this, but here we are going to separate the liquid mixtures. That liquids should differ in their boiling point by 20 degrees Celsius or more. Okay, their boiling point difference should be 20 degrees Celsius or more. Those liquids can be separated by this fractional distillation method. The setup is as similar to the distillation method. Here the distillation flask is covered. The distillation flask is covered with the what is this fractionating column. Okay, it is covered with a fractionating column, and this fractionating column, in this fractionating column the liquids are the more volatile liquids first enter into it. The mixture will be heated here in the distillation flask. Okay, in the distillation flask it is heated, and the more volatile liquid, that is the liquids which have less boiler point, they will be evaporated first. Am I right? They evaporated first and they entered into the Liebig's condenser, and you know that in Liebig's condenser it get cooled down, and the liquid is collected in the receiver, so that then the vapors of the temperature of the boiling mixture remains constant. Okay, the heating process, the temperature, that heating source will have the same temperature until the lower boiling liquid distills completely. So the more volatile liquid distills completely, until that the same temperature will be maintained, and entirely fully all the low boiling liquid will be collected. After then the receiver is quickly changed. The receiver is quickly, this is the receiver, no? So this receiver is quickly changed in order to collect the high boiling liquid, that is less volatile liquid. Okay, so by this method the high boiling liquid can also be collected. Do you understood? So this method is called fractional distillation method, and from the liquids obtaining by boiling a mixture at different temperatures are called fractions. See, every liquid has a different boiling point, isn't it? Once the boiling point of the liquid reaches there, for example, water has different boiling point and oil has different boiling point, right? So at that when the temperature reaches the boiling point of the liquid, the temperature will evaporate. So during evaporation, those vapors are collected, condensed, and the liquid is obtained back. So this is the simple idea below this fractional distillation method. By this method we can separate benzene from toluene. Okay, benzene from toluene. Benzene has 80 degrees Celsius boiling point, and toluene has 110 degrees Celsius boiling point. Ethyl alcohol and water. Ethyl alcohol 78 degrees Celsius, and boiling point of water, you know that 100 degrees Celsius. Petrol, diesel, kerosene, crude oil, all these are separated by this fractional method. You know that from crude oil only we are obtaining this petrol, diesel and all, isn't it? All those things will be separated by this fractional distillation method. Do you understood, children? Shall we go to the next method? Okay, now the next method is using a separating funnel. This method, separating funnel, is used to separate the two immiscible liquid. Immiscible means what? You know that liquids which are not mingled with each other. For example, oil and water will not mingle with each other. Oil will float on the surface of water. Like that, liquid mixture can be separated by this separating funnel. We can say see the layer of immiscible liquids, isn't it? So this immiscible liquid, so the liquid which has higher density will stay at the bottom of the funnel, So this liquid will be slowly collected in a conical flask until the last drop of the high density liquid collected in the conical flask. Using the stop clock, it is closed, the funnel stem is closed, so that the other mixture with the less density will stay back in the funnel itself. Thus the liquid mixture get liquid immiscible liquid mixture get separated. Do you understood the working of separating funnel? The next method is sublimation. I hope you know the method of sublimation, right? Sublimation, the transfer of the change of state from solid state directly into gaseous state without converting into liquid state. Here, this is the setup for sublimation. A china dish is taken. A china dish is taken, and the mixture of iodine and common salt is taken and kept in the china dish, and it is covered with a funnel. The funnel's mouth is covered with a test tube. Funnel's mouth is covered with a test tube, and yeah, the outlet of the funnel is loosely plugged with the cotton. The outlet, it is loosely plugged with the cotton. Okay, so somewhat it is not fully tightly closed, loosely closed with the cotton. The mixture is heated. The sublimable component evaporates, and the vapor solidified in the test tube on the cooler part of the funnel. Okay, so here in our mixture, the iodine get sublimes very easily. The iodine gets sublimes easily. So when you heat, the vapors of iodine enters into the funnel stem and at the sides of the test tube, and at the sides of the test tube, and after some time it get cooled down, and the particles, the solids of iodine are seen on the sides of the test tube. Okay, children, do you understood this method? Yes. Now the next technique is chromatography. In chromatography, we are going to use a long strip of paper or a good quality filter paper. Okay, good quality filter paper is placed about 10 centimeter from one end of the strip and dried. One end of the strip and dried. A very small amount of the solvent is taken in a jar. A small amount of solvent is taken in a jar. The paper strip is suspended in the jar in such a way, in such a way that the near end which the mixture is placed just touches the solvent. Okay, the near end which the mixture is placed just touches the solvent. Look at the setup here, how it is it is placed like that. It is placed. Okay, and the whole setup is left undisturbed. After some time, one can observe that the green ink spot. So here the paper is filled with some green color ink. Okay, it should be kept in the solvent as shown in the figure. Then after some time, what happens? The green ink spot has moved up the strip. Okay, the blue ink spot has moved up in the strip. Okay, and the spot after some time, the ink spot has moved up the strip and separated into two colors, blue and yellow. You know that green is made by mixing blue and yellow colors. So this happens because the different dyes, that is the different coloring substance, are held by the adsorbent with different forces, some by stronger and some by weaker forces. The one that is held less strongly is driven faster by the solvent, and than that held more strongly by the absorbent. So in this case, which is lessly held by the solvent, the yellow is lessly held by the solvent. That's why it moves towards the solvent, isn't it? So this adsorption, this quality is called to be this method is called to be, we have separated the pigments of green color, no? So this is called to be chromatography. This method is called to be chromatography. Do you understand, children? The substance that is adsorbed. See, look at the spelling adsorbed. I am not saying absorbed. Adsorbed. Adsorbed is called the substance that is absorbed is called adsorbate, and the one at the surface of which is adsorbed is called adsorbent. Okay, children. So dye is held in fibers. Dye is held in fibers, no? So there dye is the adsorbate and the fiber is the adsorbent. That is absorbing the dye, isn't it? So that is called adsorbent. Do you understood this method? So this method, the array of colors like this, the array of colors are formed on the chromatography paper, no? That is called chromatogram. This is called a chromatogram. So this chromatogram, in chromatography, the adsorbent part is called stationary phase. Adsorbent part is called, that is this paper is called a stationary phase, and the solution and the solvent, a solution and solvent which is kept in the beaker, no, that is called as mobile phase. Do you understood this method, children? Hope you have understood today's class very well. We will meet in the next class, children. Complete your assignment and report in the group without fail. Thank you, children. Stay home, stay safe, obey your parents.